about micro moment trading.
Yep, absolutely.
Hey, good morning.
All right, we are live. Good morning, everybody.
Oh,
Give people a second to filter in here. Welcome to the Thursday morning micro moment trading show, where we talk about all things market in a slightly different way. We have a different approach that we take to trading, making all these things happen, and we like to share that with you guys and share our perspectives. Feel free to drop in a comment or question anytime you have it. You got some very experienced traders to my right here, so feel free to pick their brains. They're here for you. So,
Absolutely.
first of all,
good morning.
Randy, how's
Oh,
the week going? How's the trading been? A crazy market going
a
on?
totally crazy market, and yesterday afternoon kind of made it all good. But as you know, Micah, there's two main services that I conduct throughout the course of the week. One of them is using our proprietary advanced charting for what we call momentum trading. And our charts have I think a combination of 21 there's a lot of them. I think 21 technical indicators all on them rolled into one big chart, and I teach every Monday morning how to read that chart to identify the beginning of a rising cycle. And the reason why I'm looking for a rising cycle, of course, is because overall we're in a rising market, right? Since 2009, March of 2009 was our bottom, and it's just been going up ever since. Now, just not straight up. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But overall, we're way higher than back in March of 2009. So because the market overall goes up, then I'm looking for calls because calls go up when the equity goes up. So I'm scanning all of our advanced charts looking for positions that are just getting into their new rising cycle. And I go through 35, actually almost 40 charts this week, but basically 35 charts every Monday and teach how to read those charts to look for that beginning of that rising cycle, which is the beginning of the momentum. Thus, momentum trade is what we call it. And so this week, it was Bristol Myers, BMY. So found Bristol Myers just at the beginning of a rising cycle, bought the call, which we go out for a year to buy the call. And the following day, I closed it out for 7.6% return. So in in the position on Monday, out on Tuesday morning, 7.6% return. Then no cash in the market in the momentum trading, waiting for the Fed's announcement yesterday because
Mm-hmm.
nobody knew which way the market was going to go after whatever the Fed said. And nice for covered calls, it went
Oh,
up, and so it went up. But I wasn't going to bank on that it was going to go up. So I close out my position back into cash for 7.6% return for the one day. But that's a good return for the week. So that's one thing that I do, and then I teach what I would say is one of the most conservative ways of trading in the market, and that's an in the money covered call for weekly income generation. I teach 2 hours every Wednesday morning on how to do that process, and I let everybody that's in the service see exactly how I am managing my positions inside my own live portfolio. And that one is, I think, just about everything. Yep, all the new positions for this week are deep in the money, which means that high probability they'll just be called out tomorrow. I'll have locked in returns of between 8 and 14% for the week, and back to cash. And it's always great to be back to cash at the end of every week because you never know what's going to happen over the weekend and thus what the market's going to be doing on Monday. We are in extremely volatile times right now. I mean,
yes,
we've had
yes, we are.
volatility before, but this is so volatile because the market's not driven by company announcements or company results or um, I mean, when a company announces earnings, they're going to have a change momentarily for a day or two, but overall, the market's driven by exterior news
Yeah.
that either drives reactions by our government to our economy or the fear of traders of what's going to happen to the economy based
Mm-hmm.
on news that comes out, not company specific news, but just news overall. And so it can flip in the blink of an eye where it looks like, oh, we're going down, down, down. What since uh, since Thanksgiving we've been going down, and all of a sudden yesterday it just shoots up
Yeah.
from a down day to a big up day based on what Chairman Powell said. That didn't talk about any company. He just
Mm-hmm.
said, what is the federal government going to do with the money that they control, and what's he going to do with interest rates, and is he going to keep printing money or not printing money? So the reaction to the market on what he said was, oh, okay, not as bad as what we were thinking, so let's go up.
Hmm.
Yep.
And
And
there's no chart in the world that would predict that. And so those kinds of things can take place at any moment. So whenever I can get back to cash and then wait for the next good entry point, that's always a good thing. So with the
yeah,
cover calls, we
it's
do that on a weekly basis. And
yeah.
the goal is by the end of each week is to be back in cash and then look at next week for a good entry point.
Mm-hmm. No, those are really good points. There's a certain amount of detachment there is because it's not even necessarily that anything has to happen concretely. So something may happen, or something doesn't happen that was expected to, or just like any sort of even rumors can have huge effects. So um, I like how you said you're not able to necessarily predict, but once that movement happens, you can trade it as you have been, but crazier nowadays for sure. I mean, SPY's just swinging around $10 at a time. It feels like. Yesterday it was almost near that. I think there was what that push up was like $9,
Yeah.
61 to 70. I think
Yeah. Yeah.
just
Just
about 10,
incredible movement.
63 to 71. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah. Tim, how's that affected your world?
We love it. We love the
Yeah.
volatility. It's become a little bit difficult to predict direction, but our ice charts cover that nicely for us, showing us changes in momentum. Apple has been running between a $5 to $7 range each day for the last week, so plenty of opportunity there. We've had good trades all week. Our subscribers are making great trades. I don't know if Marianne's on today, but she just absolutely rocked the boat today um,
Yeah.
with trade after trade. Um, but we're loving what it's doing. We love seeing wide trade ranges in the day. That works for our purpose nicely. Um, we also had a decent jobs report this morning. It was a mixed bag, but overall it was positive, and we're heading in the right direction. Need to get a handle on this inflation, obviously. I think the Fed could have moved a little bit faster, but that's just my opinion on that. But we see Apple had a big run up yesterday afternoon, followed by uh, probably a sell off this morning. We had an initial push up, followed by about 40 minutes of put bias, and our subscribers were just picking it off like picking low hanging fruit all the way down. So real proud of them. Um, but we like it. We like the volatility. We trade on volatility, and we like to see that price action move um, because we're able to get in and out so fast. Uh, we can take advantage of that volatility in our technique, just taking short little bites. And as you know, we've said it many times before. We just have one rule: when that when that trade turns, get out. Right. The name of the game is tightening up those stops. Um, that's the whole game. It's not just part of the game; it's the whole game. You control those stops, you'll control your profitability. Had a been learning that lesson here in the last couple of days, as you know, Micah, and it has worked out. Trust those stops. Trust what the charts are telling you, and the winners always take care of themselves. Don't have to worry about those. Just don't let them run till they turn into losers, and make some money. So
awesome. You guys continue. I'm inviting Joe.
Good.
Sending him a new.
Well, and
So
that's
go
the
ahead.
great thing about what Tim does, the micro moment trading, in and out of positions in less than a minute, locking in profits. But the real key, back to cash every day. At the end of the day, all cash in the account, and therefore it makes no difference
Hey,
what
Joe.
what announcements happen over the overnight or over a weekend, because back to cash. I also trade that technique. I use all the different processes and techniques that are taught by everybody, but Tim specializes in that micro moment trading, identifying with that proprietary intraday streaming chart, where that chart is just moving constantly, identifying the beginning of either a rising or a declining cycle, and implementing a trade based on that, riding that momentum for a very short period of time to generate a couple percent return very quickly, and then using that same money multiple times during the day. He
Hey,
can do
Mike.
it 2, 3, 4 times using the same money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
Looks like Joe's probably trying to get in.
Yeah, Joe's backstage.
What's going on?
I just sent him a new.
Hey, there's Mark.
No.
I thought we
There's
weren't
Mark.
doing these anymore, so I haven't been paying attention. Wow.
Mark is
Hey, Mark.
back from the future.
Back from the future, you're right.
Good
Yeah,
little-
so I was listening
No,
to Tim's
he's
stuff
gonna-
there,
he's
talking
gonna-
about the stops and everything. They're important, but also your entry is just as important, right? Just like when Randy, when you look at your stocks when you buy them, you talk about up days, selling the call, and stuff. I mean, it makes a difference. So the entry is important as well as the exit, and the stops help us stay on the right side of things. We use them in futures as well, and they work out very well for us. So.
Micah, were you able to let Joe in?
He's not in this room, so I did send him a new link for today.
Okay. Well,
But we'll see if he uses it.
hopefully he'll.
Let's see if he can get in.
I love that photo, Mark. Just back of your head, wheeling and dealing there.
There you go.
That's it, man. That's how it works.
Well, because Mark's always in the future, so he can't show you his picture because it's in the future. So
Oh,
Yeah.
Look at the background. There's a couple of red candles showing up there with my left hand there. See that?
yeah, there you go. What? See, Mark always knows what the future is going to hold. That's what he does.
Yeah. I wish, but
Yeah, Mark. If you're reporting from the future, if you could just give me a call from the future.
Yeah. Let us know. What does the newspaper say for Monday's close?
Guys, let me know the price of Apple real quick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So anyway,
So Randy's recap. Heard Tim doing pretty good out there with the Apple stuff. Apple's phenomenal, right? Trying to head towards a $3 trillion market.
yeah,
What the hell is that? Like 182 something is the $1 trillion, $3 trillion number somewhere
There
there.
we go.
So pretty amazing.
yeah.
We see
Yeah,
it,
that's-
Joe.
Mr. Hooper.
Okay, good.
There he is.
That-
I don't know what. It wouldn't let me in. They kept saying,
It's all good.
yeah.
It's all good.
Heard him knocking on the stage
Mark,
door.
you were talking about
he was
futures?
knocking on the portal,
Yeah.
saying, "Let me in, let me in."
Yeah, I know. I can't get in. So
Knocking on the glass.
Mike has got snow in his nose, I think. It's cold up there, huh?
I do. It's just I'm walking around like a penguin all day.
It just turned 71 here.
Oh man,
Joe's and
Oh,
Joe's
my God.
Yeah.
Joe's got his big cowboy hat on today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you, Mark?
I'm at the house right now.
It just turned 9.
I thought we
It
weren't
just
doing
turned
these anymore.
9
I was like,
here,
oh,
Joe.
wait.
I'm sorry, what?
I thought we stopped doing these, so I wasn't paying attention. I said, I better jump on.
Yeah. So you back?
Oh, good.
You missed. When did you get back? Yesterday?
I haven't left yet, so I'm still here. I'm going to leave tomorrow to go up to New York. I'm going to hang out, do some stuff at my sister's place, and then with her, and then come back. And Monday I fly up to my daughter's place and drive back with her from
Okay.
Boulder for the holidays.
Oh, okay. Pretty
Ooh,
good.
hope the weather's good on your drive.
Well, that's what I was worried about. I thought it might be snowing, so I want to drive back with her since she's never driven in the snow. But I don't know, maybe okay. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be mostly on interstate anyway, won't you? Coming
Yeah, probably come
across.
back through 70 instead of through the mountains. It's just too much there.
Yeah, because then the big rigs keep that snow pretty much chewed up on the road.
Yep. Otherwise, you got to come back through New Mexico. That Rattan Pass is like at 8,000 feet, so there's probably snow and stuff there. So
Yeah, those could be. You never know when those could get closed.
Yep.
You know, I'm going to get a photo to put like Mark has there, except I won't have on my hat, but I'll have all this hair down to my shoulders.
oh, there you go. Yeah.
I thought that looked cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
I'm sure me or Tim could make that happen.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
I got those-
I'm sure
I got
Tim
those-
could hop into Photoshop and make it happen.
Yep.
I got
No
those
problem.
cool trades today, Randy. Tim. What's his name?
Tim, dude.
Tim?
Mark. No.
Mark?
No. Randy.
Randy?
Randy.
Okay.
No. Anyhow, I got those 2 trades and puts up close to 100% for the week. Tomorrow, easy. Still
Yeah.
got the trades for the day on Micro Moments.
Oh, nice. So, yeah, how's the micro moment going? I haven't been on there since I've been doing the futures. Like, did you guys bring Steven in yet for that? Or
Yeah,
how's that
we
working?
miss you, Mark.
No, we
Yes,
haven't. We haven't brought him in yet. He has a technicality in that he's having to leave about the time we end at 8:30. He's had to leave to go to a job.
Yep.
And so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make that work. We're going to have to
Okay.
go somewhere else. But yeah,
So
we're
he's
up.
on out there too, right?
Yeah, we're up right at 85, 86% when I add these 2 trades that were done after I left to come over here.
Oh, nice.
And so we'll be over 100 tomorrow. We're
Oh, nice.
into the
Yeah. Good stuff.
next week will be our 137th week, and we've averaged over 100% per week each one of those weeks. So sometimes closer to 250, 300%.
Yeah,
Been a
good
slow
stuff.
week. Slow this week.
Yeah.
Market's been a little goofy. Been a little goofy this week for sure.
Yeah. So
Like
Yeah.
Randy's talking about, there's a lot more volatility in the market now, and things jumping around with the
yeah.
news coming out. So I've had a lot of reversals for me. I have long push-ups and reversals, and the market just kind of jumping up and down. So
You
Now-
know, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good, Mark. What is? I mean, you can trade in any market, but how has this market affected your trading? And do you prefer longer legs or do you like the quicker reversals?
well, when the futures market before it opens, if you're in the market before then, it's pretty tame, I call it. But once the market opens 8:30, that thing, the price ladder just moves all over the place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just imagine anything, even we see our tick, it's flopping all around, or the bar or candle that moves up and down. What happens for me is, we're using candles. So we get a long candle, get a retraction, get this long wick. So it could be at a certain point, depending, on your timing. If you get in at the wrong time, then suddenly it pulls back. Then, like we talked about, our stops kick in because it's just way too fast and too much.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of reversals, a lot of, in the beginning, there's a lot of ups and downs, like reversals, ups and downs, right? And then finally, they'll settle out eventually. And we want to look for those trends. And that's what we really want to play off of, Get in that trend, write it out, get some points out of that, and then kick back, wait for the next one, really.
And do you just take small bites or try to grab something and hold it for quite a while?
Well, ideally, we look for this 10 points is ideal per trade if it's in a good trend. But, if you can lock in 5, we lock in 5. Sometimes it's only 2.5. These things are turning around sometimes pretty fast lately.
Yeah.
So we're trying not to get behind on anything. So a little bit faster pace, I think, right now. And the volatility is just abnormal, I guess, as it starts picking up here with this news and what's going to happen in the future. Who knows? But the market's just going through some gyrations to try to figure out where it wants to go, which is really just a representation of people out there buying and selling because they're not sure, right? And they're, I should buy, I should sell, and it's just back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But we just take advantage of that trend. Ideally, a good trend that stays intact for a little while is good. Rather than this up and down stuff, it's just we just kind of stay out of it and just wait, for the right entry point.
I see Marion just signed in, and Marion when she's not pushing little old people around in wheelchairs at the airport. She's been trading just ferociously for the last couple of weeks, making incredible returns. You seen those, Micah? She's been doing fantastic.
Amazing.
Nice, man. Good for you.
So good
I've
morning.
been she's been trading SPY a little bit, and I've been learning from her entries.
Yeah.
Trying to see what she's seeing, and
Yeah.
very just really good, solid, technical, amazing trades.
I think the reason her training has picked up is she's actually like putting her laptop on top of somebody's head in the wheelchair
Yeah,
and trading while she pushes them around. Because
they're
she's
holding
not
it up
having the ability.
on their
That's right,
head,
yeah.
and then she
Oh dear,
Exactly, that's right.
that could
Yep.
be. That could be.
absolutely
Yeah.
as they cruise through the flat escalators. I was just in.
Yeah.
I think I came back through Salt Lake City, and I love those things. Flat
Oh, those
escalators, you
flat
feel like you're
escalators,
walking 30 miles an hour. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And the funny thing is,
so-
you'll be on it. You'll be on it, and you'll just be cruising happy as a bird, just leaning up against the railing there, and somebody's walking themselves to death to pass you over there. You know.
Yeah. There you go. So when can we expect? I mean, is there any time we can expect a change in what's the general mood of the market? Usually during holiday season, it's a little bit different than it is throughout the year. But I mean, are we just crazy through the new year? What are you guys thinking? Not so much on direction, but just
I can tell you, based on experience, it's going to be January
Volatility.
the 1st. It's going to be January the 1st because there's no brokers up there around Christmas and New Year's. They're just not in the city. So it's going to really be slow. Always is. So I'm surprised Cezanne's trading dollars because she doesn't normally trade her real money during December at all, but she stepped in because of this association with Micro Moment. So she's been doing trades. But
Yeah, I mean, typically in the holidays, we see a slowdown in trading and in price action, but it has been exactly opposite that. We're seeing increased volatility, increased price action in it. I expect, we get into next week, it's going to slow down for the holiday as people spend time elsewhere. But we'll pick right back up again in January.
Yep.
So
yeah. What are your guys' plans for Christmas week? Are you gonna trade the whole thing, or are you gonna stop on Wednesday? Maybe go to simulation. What's your forecast?
well, I mean, as long as there's an active market, I think we're going to trade it.
yeah, the only day that's going to be closed all day is Friday the 24th, and so we'll be trading that Thursday and that Monday. So
Awesome. Same for you, Randy. On the longer term positions, are there any modifications you're making lately?
No, other than just being cautious on how much capital to put in the market right now with all this volatility. But other than that, next week is great because with only 4 days of time decay, things just move quicker to to expiration, which is what we want for the cover call process is to have that time decay work on our positions. And so just have to be in the trades for 4 days next week instead of 5. That's great. And
That's
and
awesome.
having
Yeah.
a whole day off on Friday to get ready for Christmas is going to be nice.
hey, Randy, you got those dividend stocks I sent to you? Did that help you out any?
Yep. I've been looking at them and seeing if there's any covered calls on. Some of them don't have options, but the ones that have options are looking pretty good.
Good.
So I'm
Good.
looking through those.
Fantastic. Well, any questions for the guys here? Feel free to drop them into the comment box. Anything on what's going on? If you have any specific things you've been looking into, if we can clarify any of that process. I'd like to. I just set up my matrix today. For Mark, it's called a DOM. For Tim, it's called Active Trade Ladder. And for me, it's called the Matrix because we're on TradeStation, Thinkorswim, and Infinity Futures. But I used it for a while in the past, but this seems to be something that we are kind kind of adopting more firmly.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tim, could you explain what it is? I can maybe, I'm not sure I can bring up a screenshot of it. I'll do my best, but if you can explain what it is, because it's a really different method of trading, and it seems that we're going to keep with it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. As you said, on TOS, Thinkorswim, we have Active Trader, which allows us to set stops and sell orders all with one click. So, for instance, and I've just recently moved back over to it. When I first started trading, I had a difficult time following it, but it's an essential tool. If you're trading options, I cannot recommend enough using Thinkorswim to get onto Active Trader. Um, it's very flexible, and like I said, with one click, you can set a stop and a limit order. For instance, I'm using a minus 15 plus 15 stop limit right now, and what this does, it does one very important thing. If you're experiencing losses due to holding on to trades too long, not getting out soon enough, this will correct that. This will automatically put a stop in right as you put your order in, so it's already there. And the cool thing about this, and it's probably true for most platforms, is once that trade is active, you can then move that limit order or stop order independently. You can just grab it and slide it up. Or slide down. But the good thing is you get into a trade and say it starts moving down, you can tighten up that stop and either get out of that trade or just tighten up your safety net. And you can do the same thing on the limit side. So, my stop is set for 15-cent limit. Say it blows, it's going up there very quickly. Well, I can extend that up, which I would do. But what I do more importantly is I slide my stop up past my break even and into profitability, and then start following that very closely. And most of the time, I don't hit my limit. I'll hit my stop. Once it gets profitable, I want to make sure I maintain that profit. So I continue to slide that stop up closer and closer to the price until eventually it takes it out and I make a profit. But it's a great safety net.
So what was your old process before going to this? Because here you can visually see every time that price changes, you can see it go up.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the green or red bar, depending on what side you're on, you'll see a little extension from that, say where that green bar is in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
that 27. I wish I had a pen to highlight it for everyone watching, but a bar will appear to the left of that coming off of it and extending it to show that that's where the limit is, and everything else is constantly floating up and down, but that
Mm-hmm.
is fixed in place. So what was your old process to even know how it worked?
Well, my old process was mentally following a stop, and that turned out to be really inadequate. Um, because you would get into that. I hope it goes up. I think it's going to go up, um, and then I experimented with just trading off the option chain and putting in a sell order 10 to 15 cents below once I entered a trade. But that required me to cancel it and enter a sell order, which is just too many clicks. This way, it all happens at once, and it takes a little getting used to watching that price move up and down and entering properly. But Thinkorswim does a cool thing. It gives you a midpoint between the bid and the ask, and shows you last filled. So it gives you a real clear indicator of where the market maker is filling, and you can adjust your price accordingly. If you're trading off the option chain, you're pretty much restricted to buying at the ask unless you want extra clicks. We really want one click in and one click out if we can on options trading.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, on my old system, changing a stop even was probably 5 to 6 different mouse clicks.
Yeah.
You have to click on the stop that you already, spent 3 to 4 clicks. And this only matters, right, because our trades are under a minute. I had a 24-second trade today. So in 24 seconds is all of it, right? So we have to be efficient with these things. But I would have to click on the stop I had in place that I already had to set up in the first place, go into the details of it, hit change, adjust it to the percentage or the cent change that I wanted, and then submit and confirm. Yeah. Now I grab it and I move it and I let go. And that's, that is the reason we use, this type of thing. Absolutely different story. And the visuals of seeing the actual line below where everything's happening that your stop is, I think is super powerful as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's for our type of trading, particularly for Mark and myself, that it's a must-have. There's a little learning curve in learning to read the numbers a little differently, but what it will save you in runaways will make you. It'll be the difference between consistent profitability and loss.
Yep. We always go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. Would you give me real quick the 2 Apple trades? I accidentally erased them on my cell phone. Just give me the 2 prices. I know they're Apple.
Oh, absolutely. If you hold on 1 second, 340 to 350.
Okay.
And $3.89 to $4.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
Okay.
Awesome. Those are a couple of Tim's Apple trades from today.
Those are nice profits.
Yeah. Yeah. And those all were well under a minute. Mark, how do you use your Dome?
So it's very similar. I mean, that's what this is. What you're talking about right there is a price ladder, which is just like the futures thing, and a chart, just like that. We have our entry, then we have our stop, right? So we have a stop and a profit point that automatically gets set. It's a bracket order, essentially a simple bracket order. So once you enter the trade, it puts in about 10 points away, locks in a profit point, and then 20 points away, it puts in a stop for the futures. A lot of times the futures are pretty volatile, right? So these candles will move down before they move back up sometimes, and we want to give some room to run. But sometimes it gets stopped out. But also the stop is mainly for, when you have those runaway markets, you could have a sudden down push in a market, it'll take you out, right? So you don't have any problems there. But it's an art like anything else a little bit. After you've played it a few times, you can pretty much figure it out. But those keep you in line. So kind of like bumpers, I guess, when you're trying to bowl. So it keeps the ball in the center of the lane, so to speak.
Yeah.
So you don't have too many issues.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to try to find a one with some orders on it, so we can share that screen as well.
What's hard with the futures too, because it moves so fast. I'm trying to sometimes teach and train people and do stuff to try and demonstrate something to them, and by then things happen in seconds. I mean, most of my orders are 3 seconds, 5 seconds. Sometimes 10 seconds.
Yeah. Absolutely. Honestly, it requires almost like a stop trade. Okay, now let's talk about it because you have to look right at it when.
It's been a challenge for me. I've never really had to talk to it while I'm doing it sometimes, so it's been a little more of a challenge for sure.
Yeah. No, I think that's completely fair to say, and it's something that we as coaches have to learn. It's trading can be pretty intensive to watch and keep track of everything in the first place. So, to keep an eye on it all there's a lot going on. Yeah. Yeah.
And I wanted to make this transition and be firmly comfortable before we go live on MMT. Most of you know that coming very soon, you're going to be able to see our trades live as they happen. It's like looking over my shoulder. You'll see the entries, the exits, and so I wanted to have that down before we went live.
Absolutely. We are. I'm not going to say which one because I don't want to jump the gun on anything. But the reason you guys are going to be able to see that is because we're upgrading the platform with which we do webinars. It's going to give us a lot more functionality in the question box, in the multiple screen sharing, and showing our face eventually when we have, lights and cameras figured out, things like that. So we are going to absolutely elevate. Right now, the webinar is just the one screen share, but we're absolutely elevating that over the course of this next year, where we have plans to implement thing by thing to make it just an entire experience in there. You'll be able to select your screen, what you want to look at the time, and switch between them freely, as well as doing some cool things with other people's questions to be able to learn from everyone's experience. It's going to be an absolutely amazing learning environment. Marion says, Tim crushed it on the Micro Moments seminar. As always, I learned something new. Thank you. When will Mark have his next Features Weekend seminar?
Like the child.
Yeah, so that's good. I don't know. It's not scheduled right now, but we should probably do one right after the first of the year. Maybe that first weekend after we come back from New Year's. Probably have a seminar that weekend would be perfect, I think.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to Savannah about scheduling one, and we can maybe get that out there. So.
Yeah, and thank you, Marion. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You were just absolutely killing it today.
Yeah, you're such a good example to all the other clients as well, all the other members in there, giving them, an example of waiting also, because you don't do a massive amount of trades every day, but when the market gives it,
well, she did not
take
only
the
good
trades that it'll give you.
She did not only good today. She did fantastic today, but she did fantastic last week, all week, and
absolutely
yesterday too.
Absolutely. Marion says figuring out futures as well. Yeah, I'm I'm just starting to slowly understand those. I got to start getting into Mark's room and figuring all that out. Is quite a bit to learn, but I think that would be a really powerful reason to. Well, I mean, it is the powerful reason that we're using this order ladder as well. Because while we are going to make some slight changes to the futures charts to make them as effective as possible, we are going to have the same charts that we're looking at, the same price ladder moving up and down that you enter your orders on. There's going to be so little actually functionally different, right? You're going to have to understand how futures work a little bit with the course that Mark's creating right now. But when you get into trading every day, you're going to walk in, see the same chart, execute your trade on the same ladder, on the same platform. Everything is going to be, just smooth, so that it's a slightly different skill, but you don't have to functionally learn a brand new thing. And that is going to be extremely powerful, because you can take all of the experience you already have and propel it forward, as opposed to just starting fresh on something you've never seen before. So I'm really, really excited for futures and how they're going to interact with the options.
Mm-hmm.
Really looking forward to it. I can't find a photo of that ladder with some limits on it. I wish I could, but we'll have to cover that next time.
Yeah.
And then we also cover it every day in our live room. So do we have any? I know we're scheduling our next few workshops and seminars with everything in flux here. We don't have anything coming up next week or anything, right? Don't believe so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're off for the holidays, the 2-week holidays. But
yeah, we just had a couple big events.
Yeah, we just had an MMT 1-day intensive on Saturday. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think our plan is to do these every quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And so every quarter you'll be able to get one of our classes.
Yeah, we had the 2-day seminar a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah, for cover calls was 2 weekends ago. So
there we go.
Time.
So
ready to roll into the new year, and 2021 is just like over all of a sudden. I swear, I just woke up one day and it was December, and I was like,
"No, right?
Whoa! This what?"
I was just getting used to writing 2021 on checks and stuff. Now I'm gonna have to switch to 2022 here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I never got used to it. It just didn't feel like a normal year, and then into 22, absolutely crazy. Yeah. Do you guys have any one goal for this upcoming 2022? Um, in case I believe we'll have a show next week, but in case we don't have it for Christmas, what do we have for a goal coming up?
You know what?
Do you have any goals for next year, Joe?
Oh,
2022?
you mean on programs or what?
Oh no, just for you personally.
Oh no,
Nope.
no, just
Nope. I'm good.
yeah, every day set. Sue Ann has been working out the. She does have some 2 days lined up for me. I don't know because she's moving around, kind of making everybody's stuff work. She's pretty far into. We should be announcing just right after the first what the program's going to be for the rest of the year as far as seminars and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, lots we're working on going into the new year. We'll have a ton of announcements for you guys.
Yeah. Plus live events.
Yep.
Well, hopefully
Yeah, we
we'll
got
have
a couple of
some
those.
events.
In the works. Looking forward to
Hopefully.
that.
Yeah, look forward to some live ones, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We love seeing it. Um,
Any goals for the new year, Tim?
yeah. Absolutely. My goal is to continue to tighten up stops, make consistent money, and I want to share this and teach as many people as possible how to make money with micro moment trading technique. Um, Looking forward to an influx of new subscribers, and really, we're an educational service, and our goal, we all have a heart for service here, but we love it when we see our subscribers and our students make money. So
Yeah.
I want to expand that as much as possible next year.
It really is the best thing. Like somebody, just coming in one day and telling a story of what their week was like and what their month was like because they're able to trade and what they were able to go do and what they're able to go pay for. It's just it's a lot of work to get to that point from our end, but once we see that message come through, it's everything's
Yeah,
it's fun.
Micah, I think we're going to have to start instilling some discipline in them because invariably, Marion and other people that are on those morning micro trading sessions always tend to make 2 or 3 trades and say, "Well, I'm done for the day. I'm off.
Going
I'm
to the
going to the beach. I'm off. I'm gone." I
Right.
mean, we got to get some discipline in here somewhere.
I know. 20 minutes.
But no, that is the discipline. Is you're the discipline is you're only in there for a half an hour. You're making 2 or 3 trades, and then you stop and you wait till the next day. Because see, with the micro moment trading, every day is a trading day. Every day is opportunity because you're back to cash at the end of whenever you decide to quit trading that day. You're back to cash, and you're just ready for the next day, no matter where it is, no matter what's happened.
Yep.
Micro moment trading, you're right back in it.
What I was thinking of is they have to go into discipline, like they have to study. They make their trades. Okay, well, you just said spine range, but then they have to go into deep study. Study stuff.
Joe, that's not a bad idea.
I know, yeah.
That's not a bad idea to kind of encourage that. Because I think coming to the point where you say, "Yep, I got it all figured out. I know exactly everything. All yep." I mean, I think that's a very dangerous thing, right? So,
Yep, absolutely.
that's not a bad idea. We'll have a study hall before you go to the beach after you're done trading.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. Mark, what do you got coming up this year, and any goals for the new year?
Have more fun, man. That's what it's about.
Have more fun.
Yeah.
Exactly. The work hard takes care of itself, right? You got to play hard.
Yeah, always work hard. That never stops. But like Tim, be looking forward to having some new clients coming on board, some more people we can train and teach, utilize some of the techniques we have, and have them be successful. It's always a good thing. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
How about you, Randy?
Same thing. I want to see the more people that can get trained on how to manage their own money, how they can generate the income. We already know how to do it, but the whole goal is to get out to as many people to let them learn how to generate their own income, because nobody cares about your money more than you do. And you can always give it to someone to be trading, and they're going to take their profits before you get yours. you need to learn how to do it, and then it becomes a lifetime endeavor. You can take that knowledge and use it for the rest of your life, and pass it down to your kids too.
On the micro moment sessions in the morning, I'm going to ban people that come on there and start explaining the trade, how much money they just made with the Randy deal. Comes on, I don't even make 13 or 14% with a Randy deal. Yeah, I said,
Yeah,
Randy.
Randy, we get a regular report of success from covered calls
every morning. Hey, I just want to say a thing though. Now, I just want to add in my oldest granddaughter, that's 11. They had a bomb scare at school last week, and so they headed home. And my daughter-in-law and son, of course, they work, so we had her for the rest of the day. And so she came in for about a half hour, sitting on my lap and just asking me questions about the charts and what the lines mean and when it was a good time to get in. So she's on her way to learning as well.
There you go.
Sounds like it. That's great.
So you're never, the thing is, you're never really too young to learn, as long as you can have concepts of charts and lines and things, which, I mean, kids are picking that up so early in life these days. Yeah. My 6-year-old granddaughter just whizzes through the stuff on her iPad, and it's amazing.
I feel like they'd be amazing at MMT without, none of those adult concepts we get of trying to make money and pay bills, and they don't care about any of it. They just see some colorful lines, and I think they would wipe the floor with all of us. I really do.
Well, the great thing when they're starting out to learn something like micro moment, and they're that young, they're not like some old day trader that has all this stuff in his mind, and he never has been successful, but that's all he has in his mind. I mean, they don't know anything. They're just going to do what you tell them, and it's so simple. Micro moment trading is the simplest thing on the face of the earth. Much simpler than Randy's stuff.
It really is.
And I guess that would be my 2022 goal, Joe, is to re-simplify and unpack all that stuff that I added in to make everything so complicated.
Yeah.
I really, in trading certainly, but in my whole life, I think that happens to us very quickly, and we need to actively just simplify and cut out the garbage.
We've gone a long way just by using the indexes, because nobody ever says, we'll occasionally say Apple's a good stock or QQQ's a good stock, but we never go into like some kind of analysis. Well, we think Apple's going to be going up because the government said something today they're going to buy some iPhones or something like that. We never do that. We talk about how to read that chart.
Yep. And how it flows in the live room usually is it just starts taking off, right? We're watching the charts. It starts taking off. We trade it, we make money, and then we're like, I wonder what happened. Oh, look, they sold a bunch of iPhones. Oh, look, their earnings are bad. It is a very hindsight process how we perceive news. Yeah. It's always been that way for MMT, because just if it's moving, that's fine. What does it matter? By the time you figure out why, it's already done. So trade it first, and then you can go look.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A while later. I would love to thank everyone for being here. It's been an awesome show today. It's been good hanging out with you guys. Looking like our questions are all answered. So in the meantime, you will see the upcoming events posted and ready for you guys at micromomenttrading.com. We've been working on really cool recaps for social media. We're redesigning basically all of our social media content to be a lot more educational. And we'll be rolling that out in end of December, early January as well. So be on the lookout for that. There's going to be a ton of free education on all of our social medias, and we'll update all the handles as we go. But for now, check out micromomenttrading.com and support at micromomenttrading.com if you have any questions on your signups, charting, anything like that. Anything to add, guys?
Off to baseball practice, getting ready for next season. All
right, thanks for being here.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
2022
Bye-bye.
championship.
Yeah.
Here you come.
Talk to you next Thursday, right?
All right, thanks.